Dave Polatis here, Dave's Kitchen. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know that what I do is I cook whole food, plant-based, simple meals to find our way back to a healthy way of living. Welcome back. Today we're going to make one of our house favorites. I make this dish probably at least twice a month. We like to freeze the enchiladas. We're going to make a black bean, spinach, sweet potato enchilada. We'll make a whole serving dish full of enchiladas, and then we'll freeze those. We keep them in the freezer so that during the week, if we have a need, we'll go ahead and heat it back up in the microwave. So the first thing we do is we start off by baking our sweet potatoes. I baked these this morning at 425 for about an hour. So when they're fully cooked, they actually come apart usually pretty easy. So with the exception of the bottom where it has a tendency to stick. So we'll just take the peelings off this potato and we'll set those to the side. And probably cut off some of the bottom there so that it's a little bit softer.
Did you just boil those or you baked them?
I baked those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
425 for about 60 minutes. If they're this big, if they're this large, and these are relatively large, it usually only takes 2 or 3. We want about 2 to 3 cups of sweet potato. So again, once they've cooled a little bit, you'll notice the skin just
falls right off
of them. Let's do one more here. We'll have 3. And these are more of the orange color. You'll notice when you go get sweet potatoes, you've got the yams and you've got what they call sweet potatoes. It doesn't matter. To me, the orange are a little sweeter. I like the flavor a little better. So we're going to throw those into a bowl. And we're going to take a potato masher and we're just going to mash them up. So that's really all it is just good and smashed. So once we're done with that, we're going to add 2 heaping cups of black beans. Now, these are black beans that, of course, I made from a dried bean. If you've seen my video on food prep, you'll know that I actually make those in my Instapot. You can buy canned black beans. Be sure and drain them before you put them in there. Keep in mind that a 15-ounce can is not technically a full 2 cups, so you may have to change a few things. 2 cups of corn, frozen corn. I've let this thaw a little bit. You'll want to do the same. Just let your corn thaw. We'll throw that in the mix. This is where I like to put my liquid in. So I'm going to start off here with, I guess I haven't opened this one. This is Worcestershire. Oh, hey, I hope we got that on video. You want to make sure the lid's on good. So we're going to put a tablespoon of that in there. I'm not a real purist, but this is a vegan Worcestershire. Next, we're going to do our tamari or soy sauce, whichever you prefer. And I usually do about 3 tablespoons of the tamari or the soy sauce. You can also use aminos if you want. 3 tablespoons. Let's throw that in there. And there you go. So next is our dry ingredients. We're going to put a teaspoon of chili powder in here. Give it a little flavor. Again, I'm not a purist. You'll notice I'm just kind of guesstimating that that's about a teaspoon. And then our ground cumin. And again, if you're not sure if it's cumin, then just smell it. If it smells like stinky feet, that's cumin. At least that's what my sister claims. I don't know. I think it smells good. All right, so now we've got that in there. We're going to mix that mixture together. So we've got our soy sauce, or tamari, our Worcestershire, our dried cumin, and our chili powder. And we're just going to mix that all together so that it's even. I like to do this before I put the spinach in because these ingredients are relatively wet and they don't. They have more of a tendency to mix, or they mix better this way. So we've got that done. Next is our spinach. So I'm just going to take what looks like will be a couple of cups of spinach after we chop it up. So chopping it up, kind of break it down a little bit. You can put this in a food processor if you choose to. I don't think it's necessary. I have used a food processor in the past. I kind of like the spinach a little bit larger than what happens after it's been processed through a food processor. So here we go. And this is what it looks like. Again, it's really hard to mess this up. You're going to have a difficult time messing this up. So after we get our spinach cut, we're going to take it and we're going to throw it in the batter, if you will, the mix. So let's get that all in there. And then go ahead and mix in the spinach. And here we're just going to kind of layer it like we would if it were a bread dough of some sort. We're just going to layer that. We want a good consistency of spinach. And I like that. That's what we look like when we're done. So pretty simple. We just call it our batter. So next step is we're going to take our tortillas, which are here. Now I just bought some organic corn tortillas. Again, I'm not a purist, but you want to make certain that if you can avoid the oil, you do that. There is oil in this particular tortilla, but it's way at the bottom of the list. Actually, these are the corn tortillas, so I'm not certain that's the case. No, corn tortillas do not have oil. The reason I'm using corn today, I'm making this dish for my office. We have, every Thursday, we do a whole food lunch, and I bring in the lunch. So today we're doing the black bean enchiladas. We have a gal in our office who's intolerant to gluten, so we're going to use corn tortillas. You want to get some salsa. You can make it if you choose to. I've done that in the past. I find it's just as easy and cheaper just to buy salsa when it's on sale. This is a chipotle salsa that we're going to use today. I've got jalapeno, cilantro, and I also have a tomatillo. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to line the bottom of our cooking pan with the salsa. So just spread that around evenly so that we've got a layer on the bottom. Then we're going to take our corn tortillas and we're going to take a healthy scoop of our batter. And you notice I can't even get that closed. That's okay. We're just going to set that right down in there just like that. Again, another one. We're just going to keep layering those in there until we've filled the pan with the tortillas.
And you can use the wheat tortillas or the corn, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the wheat tortillas are larger typically, so you may want to layer them this way. What I'm going to do with these smaller corn tortillas is I'll have 2 layers going this direction. So, again, a healthy scoop of here. Now I'm going to take the rest of my my salsa And I'm going to sprinkle it over the top here, kind of layer it in there. Take and spread that out over the top so that it's even. There we go. And voila. And by the way, I have used different salsas for the bottom and the top. A different salsa on the bottom than I did on the top. But I don't want to experiment with my salsas today because it's for the office. All right, so now we've got that done. We've preheated our oven. We're going to preheat the oven at 425. And the reason being is we're going to cover this with foil. And we're going to bake it for 30 minutes at 425 for that 30 minutes. And then we're going to take the foil off and let it continue to bake for another 15 minutes. So, grab our foil. And we'll put that in our oven and we'll be back in 30 minutes. All right, we've had that in there 30 minutes now. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out and take the foil off. Ooh. One thing I should have warned you about too is that sometimes that foil, you want to make sure you tent it just a little bit because it can stick. So we're going to get that unstuck. Look at that boiling. Ooh, wow. That looks delicious. So now we've got the lid off, or the foil off rather, and we're going to close that back up. Set our timer for another 15 minutes. And we'll come back and... All right, our timer's gone off the last 15 minutes now. Let's go ahead and shut off our oven. We should be good. Ooh, and those are still boiling. You'll notice that they're dark but not burnt. Just the right consistency. We'll set those out here. Let them continue to cool down for just a few minutes. But I have to tell you, those are my favorites. And they're a favorite in this house. David Polatis here. Cooking for life, eating to live. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, bye-bye now.